Hello world, Alpha Bravo 8 X-Ray here with my new antenna. I recently completed a design of a 80 meter and 40 meter vertical. It's pretty neat. It's a quarter wave vertical on 80 meters and it has a matching LC network. It's not a typical network, but what it allows it to do is it acts as a short on 80 meters, so it's a quarter wave, and on 40 meters it's an end-fed half wave. It has two capacitors and an inductor. All of the components were salvaged. I have an old MFJ tuner, but was just sitting around doing nothing. And it's got right now about 4 radials on the end of it, coming out of it, and about a 68-foot wire on the top of a big giant oak tree out here in the side of the property. And it's about all I could really get up for the low bands, but it works pretty good. Tuning on the matching network such as this can be a little tricky. Typically you wouldn't have a switched inductor like what I have here, but I just took it right as it came out of the tuner. The inductor currently right now is tapped for about 7 microhenries, and the secondary capacitor is set for about 200 picofarads, and then the capacitor on the far on the left hand side is set for about 60 picofarads. So it's a little bit too big for a capacitor for what I'd like to use, but that's all I had in the shack. This is the shunt capacitor for the 40 meter end fed, and then these two, the inductor and the capacitor here, act as the LC for a short on 80 meters. And combined, when you got everything working, it works surprisingly well. Due to this being a combination antenna, quarter wave and a half wave, sometimes you have a problem with half wave antennas. They tend to like to put a lot of RF on the outside of the coax, so I've got a big giant choke wound up there to help resist that as much as I can. The radials, I've only got about 4 of them. That's all I can really put down. They're about 68 feet long, and the vertical radiating element is about also about 68 feet, and that's running to the top of the antenna here at about 70 feet off the ground. This here is a W5BIG AIM 4170 antenna analyzer. It's good from 100 kilohertz up to over 160 megahertz, and it's what I'm using today to analyze the new antenna. You come over here, I'm using that on a Panasonic CF18 Toughbook tablet computer, and let's open up the program here. It allows you to do many things with the antennas, everything from complex impedances to SWRs, about anything you want to do. And I'll just click the scan button down here and we'll see what it shows up. Okay, right now, with all the end of the coax, it's currently showing that the resonant frequency is about 3.444 megahertz on the low end, and the SWR is about 1.4 to 1. And if I scan using the mouse, or the bar goes across there, a little blue bar, you can see the low points. Right there is 40 meters, and that's currently 7.180, and this DLVR is about 1.18 to 1. So it's works pretty good. And as you can also see, the return loss on 40 is really good. So I'm really happy with the performance of the antenna.